Hey guys, welcome to another Dennis Kirk Tech Tip. This week we're in the garage of my friend Jay Clark, aka Dirt Bike TV, and he does a lot of cool how-to videos on YouTube. So what we're doing this week is I've got a brand new wheel set from my friends at WUSA. Dennis Kirk sells all kinds of different wheel sets for off-road bikes, adventure bikes, etc., etc. But as far as the off-road application goes, you get a brand new wheel set, there are things you need to do to it before you just slap a tire on it, right, Jay?
Exactly. You got to get it all ready, and we'll show you some tips on it right now.
Yeah. All right, so Jay, what's the first step here?
So right here, since these wheels were built recently, they got a little bit of grease residue on the rim here from when they assembled the spokes and nipples. There's a tiny bit of grease on there, so I'm just going to contact clean that off so that our tape will stick. I learned the hard way that if you don't do that, it doesn't stick. So I learned that years ago. So some wheels come and you can kind of feel that it's not bad, but some are pretty slippery right there. So you want to do that first.
Okay, so I know a stock motorcycle comes with a rubber rim band, right? Mm-hmm. Why is that not good?
It's okay. For most use, it's fine. Just most of the time, there are some wheels that will come with a rim band, but a tape will seal it better, and you won't get as much dirt coming in and water coming in when you through any of the other access points. So for me, I think it's a little bit better to be taped if you have the choice, but it's not the end of the world just to leave the rubber strip there as well.
Okay, like most aftermarket wheels, though, they don't come with that rubber strip.
No, and that's the reason. It's just that's why we end up taping them up. But most of the pro teams that have the choice, they just leave them taped up. So I got that sticker on the hub, so I know I got a starting point. I'm going to do 2 laps, and I use this Gorilla tape, and you can see I kind of got like a 60-40 split here because I've done this before. I just did some rims yesterday, some other ones, and the front is about 40% of my 60 split, And you can use duct tape. We did that for years, but this Gorilla tape is so much better. With the duct tape, we were going around 3-4 laps if it's cheap stuff. So this Gorilla tape is really good, and we go around just twice.
Okay, I have a question. When you have a rim, and there's obviously a hole in the rim for the valve stem and also for the rim lock.
Yeah.
Is one different than the other? How do you designate them?
No, there's no problem in either one. Some wheels, rear wheels, will have 3 holes. They'll give you a choice. I like to put the rim lock and valve stem right next to each other if it's a rear for a choice. On the front, there'll be just 2. So it depends on the rim. Sometimes there'll be a choice there. A little bit of heat right there is a good little trick to really get that tape to sit down. And I just rub my thumb in here. Not critical. And actually, I learned this just from one of our followers. Had told me it was a good tip. And you know what? It really works well to really get the tape to sit down in between the spokes. And you won't ever have to really redo it.
If you didn't have a little torch like that, you could use a heat gun or a hairdryer?
Oh yeah, heat gun, hairdryer, any of that would be just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the valve stem holes, and I don't see as well as I did years ago. So right here, they're both right here. They're next to each other. So I go here and I got a little razor blade. You can poke a hole or just get the razor blade and just cut out that tape in this spot. You want to make sure that, and since I change tires all the time, I know how much of a hassle it is if this isn't, done away correctly. If you have some hanging in the way, it'll hold you up when you go to change tires. And then on the rim locks, we like to use this style rim lock. Motion Pro has these just aluminum and rubber coated, and this is what comes stock on most of the bikes. And we just poke our hole through there, and then I'll go to that other one. Another way you can kind of do it too is just find the hole and kind of push like that, and you can push your hole through there, and then get your razor knife here and just cut around there to make it just a little bit better, so you get rid of any of that little excess tape. Now, as far as like in this front, some guys will ask, and I've seen it done both ways on stock bikes, which way the rim lock is versus the valve stem. So on a braking side, there's logic both ways. We'll tend to do it this way, and I've seen race teams set them up both ways. So it just depends on the team and which way they go. We've seen it holds the rim just as good. This one's kind of on the brake in front of the valve stem, kind of in the front side of the braking. I can't promise you which way does better. So there you go.
Same process goes for the rear then.
Yeah.
Now you're using the 40.
The 60.
The 60.
The wider one. And that seems to be a good ratio.
Do you start in front of or near the holes?
I don't even pay attention. I just mark a sticker usually on the hub, because then I know when I've done 2 laps. So I've done a half a lap now, and then when I get to that sticker again, there we go. Now I've done 1 full lap. That's like me at the track. I did 51 minutes yesterday at the GH.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, there's probably a better way to do that than biting it, but that's old guy technique. Now we're going to find our rim lock hole. There was 1 hole there. Let's see how many holes we have. And the reason I'll give you extra holes, some guys, so this one does have, it looks like just 2 holes. Oh, there's 3. So 1, 2 right here. 1, 2. And then a third one is up here. So somebody could run 2 rim locks, or if they want to run the rim lock opposite. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 that are next to each other. It's a little easier on tire install when they're next to each other, and I just seem to like it better. And again, on the race teams, I would say most of them do it this way. When I pay attention to what they have them next to each other. And that third hole is, you can put a rubber plug over it or a piece of tape on the outside, but the inside is taped, so you're not really going to have anything. But they do have little rubber plugs that some of the OEMs will have. Okay, rim lock, again, the Motion Pro one is really nice, and that's available every major place and shop, kind of the standard. A lot like most of the OEM ones.
Yeah, there's plenty of rim locks at DennisKirk.com. I'm sure the Motion Pro will be in there.
Oh,
they have the tools.
For sure. Okay, so just like that. Now we're ready to assemble. At this point, I usually will get my wheel built just because I like to feel warm and fuzzy. I'll go ahead and put my rotor and sprocket on just because it's kind of a cool part of the process, but not critical. I can throw the tire on just like this, and then we have all the proper tools to install the tire.
Cool. Well, Jay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. We'll see you guys.
All righty. Guys, be sure to check out DennisKirk.com for all kinds of wheel and part accessories.